Okay, well, I guess there's nobody in chat, but what I can see is that my levels are going up and down, so that suggests to me that I'm live anyway, and it's time to start playing some games. So I'm going to try playing some games on this thing, which is my Vampire V4 standalone, which was just on the stream with the SR Baker over on DOS Amigans. We got to the end of that. We're just demoing the Vampire V4, and now I just want to play some games to chill out. If anyone sees a game here that they're particularly interested in seeing, then by all means shout it out. I think I've kind of settled on Project X for now. It's a bit of a shoot 'em up, shmup, I think they say in the trade these days. I'm going to give it a go. Take a bit of time to launch. I'm hoping that you can hear that, because I can hear it. Cool. Apparently stuff is working on the stream. Hopefully that means that everything is going well. I can be heard, and the background can be heard, and you can see my face, and you can see the computer. All of those things are good, apart from my face, which I can't do anything about. I do apologise for the state of that face. So this is a weird game, because apparently my mic needs to be a bit louder. Let me see if I can do anything about that. I can quit the game and I can press that button while I do it. So, is there a setting? I see. The value for the audio input is quite high. Let me turn that down. So what I've done is I've turned down the audio input so hopefully I'm now louder than the game is. Is that at all true? Slightly better. Seems like I've got the game stuck in a loop anyway, and the keys that would normally cause it to exit are not doing so, so I'm going to give this the old three-fingered salute and start again. Let me just turn the computer right down and probably give it... There we go, start it up again. So a slight frustration with this computer is that every time I relaunch it I have to unplug the mouse and plug it back in. Just to do with its USB mouse support. Yeah, let me try and play that without dying on the first Alien, because I'm too busy messing with my with my audio settings rather than playing the game. So I've turned that down quite a bit. So hopefully I'm still louder than it. I'm listening to the foldback on OBS, so what that means is that like the quieter I have it, the less I can hear it. But I can turn my volume up on my headphones, and then that isn't a problem. There we go. Hello, Amy. How are you doing? Long time no see, actually. So what you can see about this game is that you've got all of these power-ups at the bottom, speed, guns, etc. That you get. You get these power-ups, these little blue pea things for shooting out the waves, and then they give you upgrades, which you have to hit space to get the upgrades, which is kind of annoying when you've got your hand on the joystick. To take your hand off the joystick. Hiya, Luke. Also, one of the power-ups is build-up, which works like the thing in R-Type, where if you hold the thing down, you get the build-up, like the superpower gun. But the game also has an auto-fire setting in software, which is on by default, which means you can't actually use that weapon at all. Which is kind of pointless. Like, why did you design the game to have a feature that you can't actually use? Something I'm noticing again with the specific hardware I'm using, which is a kind of FPGA Amiga called the Vampire V4, is that I don't actually have very good control over the keyboard. When I press space to activate the power-ups, it doesn't actually happen. You're not debugging unit tests. I'm also not debugging unit tests, Amy. Have you noticed how few unit tests I've written since I went live? This thing, I happen to know that its aim is so delayed I can just like orbit it. But normally I've got a load more power-ups than this, and so I actually get to destroy it. This time I've got the absolute worst weapon on the absolute lowest power setting. I'm hardly killing any of the aliens. And then if I don't kill any of the aliens, I don't get any more power-ups. And if I don't get any more power-ups, then I can't kill any aliens. And if I don't kill any aliens, I don't get more power. You see the problem. You see what is going wrong here. Project X is by Team 17, which is one of my favourite game studios from the Amiga days. However, they also produced Arcade Pool, which is a great game, and Arcade Snooker, which was also a game that existed, which it has in its favour. But they produced F-17, which is a kind of Formula 1 race game that's got the worst physics of any game I've played. Like the kind of parallax background scrolling. If you go round a lap, the background hasn't gone round by 360 degrees, which means that whatever you were looking at when you start the lap isn't what you're looking at the finish of the lap. I want to do a kind of series of non-Euclidean physics in computer games, and Lovecraftian nightmares created by accidental games developers. See, I pressed space then and I didn't get the power up. Maybe we'll try a different game just because this doesn't work. What do we have? The joystick I'm using, by the way. Let me. I've forgotten which camera I'm connected to. That one. This is a real Amiga joystick. It's a 9-pin joystick that's connected to the real 9-pin socket. It is a made-in-China modern knockoff of the Competition Pro. It isn't a real Competition Pro. What is iGame is the question. iGame is a launcher for WHD load. So, should you, SR Baker, be interested in launcher software for the Amiga? Probably I should have run Start Movie before I did that. That's not working particularly well. It is a thing that will scan your collection of WHD load games. I'm just going to reboot the Amiga and hopefully launch this thing properly. It scans for WHD load games and then gives you a menu for them. you're getting a bit of the inside baseball here, because what you're seeing is the thing from my HD video converter that says that it's got a signal and it hasn't worked out how to draw it yet. But now it has worked out how to draw it. As I mentioned earlier, I have to unplug the damn mouse every time. So let me run this thing. What I'm using is an open source clone of Amiga OS, but I have the actual Magic User Interface library. What that thing does is unload the open source version and load the native version, which is hopefully going to work a bit better with iGame. There we go. So this is a launcher, and you can see all the things. There's BC Kid, there's BC Kid, and this just takes the screenshots and the data that are in these games. Oh, you know what? Cannon Fodder is a classic, isn't it? And then it presents it as a launcher. Double click, and there we go. We're in the game. I hope you're all going to sing along for the theme music when we eventually get there. There we go. This thing is equivalent to a 1000 megahertz Amiga, but it has to emulate a 7 megahertz Amiga for playing the games, so that they run at a real sort of game rate and a real frame rate. Never been so much fun. That man definitely did not have a regulation haircut, did he? So right, so Amy played it on the Acorn and SR Baker on the C64. I didn't know it was a C64 game. There was a good Acorn port, Archimedes port of Lemmings, actually, that I definitely played. So this is now not using as much of the screen, and the reason for that is that what I can see on my monitor is a 320 by 240 or 320 by 200 screen in the middle of my HDMI screen. What you can see is a 1x1 pixel rendition of that in a postage stamp in the top left corner of my OBS window. So Sensible wrote Sensible Soccer and basically just turned the sprites from Sensible Soccer into these soldiers, and the game starts off with this super easy thing where you just have to kill the people, and then it turns into this hard thing where you just have to kill the people, but it's a bit more complex. There is CD32 Cannon Fodder, but it's such a natural mouse game that I can't work out how it would work. So if anyone has played it on the CD32 and can tell me how it works on the CD32, I would love to hear that. But I have never seen it. I have never tried it. I have not even tried it once and not inhaled. I've just literally never seen CD32 Cannon Fodder and cannot begin to fathom how it works. Now, this being a parody of war, there's a constant stream of new recruits, which represent basically the lives that I've got, and the score is presented as if it was a football score. So SR Baker has CD32 with the WHD load collection. There is also SR Baker. There is the full collection of CD32 software. Every released CD32 game is on archive.org. There's a 50 gigabyte download, which is a BitTorrent download, and it is a zip of zips, and then you get each of the ISO tracks is in there, and then you burn it to CDs. So if you want to do it real CD32 on real CDs, that's a way to do it. I have that, and very slowly burning my way through the collection, but it is a lot of things. It's quite fun that the entire catalogue for this console is 50 gigs, but there's like a download of every single Atari 2600 game that was ever written, and that probably fits on like a floppy disk. Did I ever play Lemmings Paintball? No, I didn't, Amy. I have played Lemmings, Oh No More Lemmings, Lemmings 2, and Lemmings 3D. Oh, and Christmas. There was not a Christmas Lemmings. There was a New Year Lemmings, wasn't there? There was a Christmas Cannon Fodder too. A lot of this stuff was done for magazine cover discs. Yeah, there were two types of companies. There were well, actually, like Team 17, who were looking out for Project X, were both types of companies. They would put all of the games journalists as like playable characters in their games in order to try and curry favour with these journos. But they also didn't like Amiga Power because Amiga Power gave honestly bad reviews when they released bad games, and they refused to give any of their stuff to Amiga Power, who were published by Future, which was the company that also did Amiga Format, and so they told the Amiga Format journos not to give their stuff to Amiga Power either. So there's this real sort of tension between the publishers and the magazines. If someone did a bad game and you gave it a bad review, you would get cut off from them. This game, this is just the wandering around killing people bit. I think it really gets fun when you start to get the buildings and you get the more advanced weapons. A feature I'm not really using is that I can split the team up. So I could say, right, I'm going to send the low-ranking person into the battle first, and leave the others back there. And if you play this game on Amiga Live, which is an emulator that's got network play facility, it will split. When you split the teams, it will give control of the two different teams to the two different players. I didn't quite get them all. There we go. So Lemmings Paintball was not really like the other Lemmings. It's more like Cannon Fodder, but multiplayer. That does sound like a good game. I've literally never seen that. So the other bit of Inside Baseball, as you can probably see, is I've got a headset on, and the Amiga has 4 audio channels, 2 in each ear, which means that it has like no pan and no central channel. So I've got the drums in this ear, most of the electric guitar in this ear, a bit of electric guitar here, and the bass in this ear. But it means that the sound effects are all over the place as well. This is not a game, if you suffer from vertigo or from any condition that leads you to to sort of confused inner ear or balance problems, I do not recommend the Amiga as a gaming platform with headphones. So there are all these buildings around, but none of them have grenades outside, and I didn't get any grenades, so I have to wait until I get down to this building and pick up the grenades. What I also have to do is not let anyone shoot that box of grenades, because if they do, then I would have blown up, because everything would have blown up. That's quite satisfying. And the fact that the roof goes in some random direction, which is, when I say random, they usually do the thing of making it the random direction that you happen to be stood in, just to add a bit of peril. There was, I used to be in the Compsys Sinclair Usenet group, and we had this term called cheating bast, which was when the game did the random thing that was guaranteed to make the player lose. or if the non-player characters had abilities that the player characters couldn't access, or like the ability to sort of premonition and could detect where where a weapon was going to land, or when some obstacle was going to arrive, and they use this skill to get one up on the players. We would call that cheating bassness. Ah, look! How rude. Now, I should put him out of his misery. The opposite was a thing called jammy-gittedness, which is when the game gave the players a bit of a favour. They were very rare, jammy-gitted games. So I lost a load of guys there. I apologise to all of the people who I lost in that mission. If you have been affected by any of the issues in Cannon Fodder, you probably shouldn't be playing Cannon Fodder. So now the background gets a bit more decoration, and I'm starting to lose some dudes. Such a great game. I don't know whether this was like made at the time that things like MASH were on, but it's definitely got that sort of there's nothing good here, so all we can do is laugh. Kurt Vonnegut style. I didn't read the mission briefing, but frankly, right, again, there's a building. I don't have any rockets or grenades, so I can't do anything about that. Run away! Run to the hills. But we didn't put any altitude in our terrain generator. Okay, we'll run to the plains then. Now, where was aforementioned build? You can die in the quicksand. Luckily, got away with it there. There is quite a high sort of resource usage here. You get a feeling that like the entire US procurement budget is going into these bullets that I just throw with abandon all over the evidently Vietnam-inspired backdrop here. Camouflage works really well if you've only got 32 colours in your computer screen. The graphics are indeed awesome, and this is an, if I'm not mistaken, this is an OCS game. I believe you can play this on an Amiga 500. So I can't fire while I'm under the water, so kind of prone there. But I need to get over and deal with these fine young recruits who happen to sign up with the wrong government. And that's something that people often say about the 1200. I took my 1200 to a guy, Tony, who lives up in Waterorton near Birmingham, to get it recapped, which is basically some of the capacitors that Commodore used are pretty cheap and nasty and start leaking. Well, when I say cheap and nasty and start leaking, they start leaking after like 25 years, which is not too bad. But he was saying like the problem he had with the A1200 is that the AGA graphics weren't a whole lot better than what you could do with like OCS or ECS, so the 500 and the 600. That having like the 256 colours at the same resolution didn't make things kind of wow better. They made them better, and like maybe this was part of the problem that Commodore had, was that like there just wasn't a sufficient upgrade between the architectures. So this phase I started with grenades, which is good. Hey, no, that was easy. The music in this is actually incredibly good. I mean, there's quite a depth of things going on, and the bass playing against the I assume it's supposed to be kind of brass band effects, and I assume that that is supposed to be the building that I just totaled in the last phase. But yeah, the music is incredibly good, from the like sampled song at the beginning to that phase and mission end music. It's I suppose it would not really help the aesthetic they're going to have in-game music in this thing. And so that's why they've got the sound effects instead. But it also means that it's easier for them to do the stereo panning of sound effects, because they're not trying to. That was a. I don't know whether those are actual, like, primates or very pixelated locals. I think I might be. Yeah, I think I might be killing like tribal locals there. Um, But typically their buildings have been occupied by the enemy, and so it's a good idea to take them out anyway. The like tribey folks are kind of passive in the game. They don't actually attack you, but shoot anything that moves is kind of the strategy that this game recommends. I kind of like this game as a casual game. I don't mind starting from level 1 every time. Um, like there's there's a lot of games where I get quite frustrated that there isn't a save setting, or what was more common on Amiga games was a password thing, where you got a password when you completed a level and could then enter that to start again at the same level. Cannon Fodder doesn't have that, but it's quite easy to just like start from level 1 and and enjoy yourself for a bit, and then like put it back down when you get to whatever level you run out at. So we were talking about the special games, like the kind of Christmas specials and things, and there was a cover disc game that Sensible did called Cannon Soccer, where one team was playing Sensible Soccer and the opposing team was playing Cannon Fodder. I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. I'm supposed to destroy these buildings as well? Whoops. Not evidently. There must be more people around that I haven't encountered yet. Is that a trap? No. It's just a bit of landscape. Oh, there's a guy. There we go. There's one person left. That was it. Yeah, Cannon Soccer was a bit of a daft idea, but also like a good way to while away a few moments over Christmas. So you'll notice I'm not very good at tactics here. I usually just take my entire team out, and then actually take my entire team out. That is tripwire. Let's take some low-ranking dude. Ah, well, that's good. I blew it up. Can I put him back? How does this work? I don't know, maybe I'm stuck. Yep, I think I'm now permanently in two-team mode. Unless anyone who does understand how to play this game, please mention in the comments, and I will work out how to get back into one-team mode. Or I will just take everyone out, and if they all go for Burton, then I'll just use my one remaining low-ranking conscript and see what that person can make of the rest of the game. Notice that their weapons have been divided between them, so I've now only got a limited number of grenades. Oh, hello. Cannon Fodder is definitely a one-trick pony, isn't it? You know, once you've worked out how to play Cannon Fodder, you've worked out how to play Cannon Fodder. I like to think that if it came out now, there'd be achievements for doing things like splitting your squad in multiple ways, and that the grenades and rockets would actually be loot boxes and not not pickups. That is really cold water, mate. I would not be swimming in that. But I've got to swim in it anyway. Wonder why they didn't give the little dudes green uniforms. Oh, now there's some rockets. Okay. Try not... Wandering around next to the rockets is always bad because you're liable to get... If the box gets shot, then it blows up. So the rockets just take a slightly different trajectory about things, but you can fire them from a blooming long way away. If I do that... I was a bit worried about those boxes of grenades blowing up, but luckily that didn't happen. Shall we? We all want to do it, don't we? I'm going to do it. Yep, that snowman definitely knows who's boss now. Right, is it just these folks left? Oh, there's man with a huge bazooka. Arf, arf, arf. Luckily he didn't get a chance. Ah, no, he might. I should have kept my rockets for these guys because they've got a longer range of the grenades. Oh, oh. Oh well. By the skin of my teeth. I did complete that one. I'm going to go to the end of this mission or the end of all my little dudes, whichever happens first, and then call it a stream. I'm quite glad that I managed to get this set up and that it's working. I'm glad that you've all joined me in the chat and we can have a nice little reminisce about Cannon Fodder together, but also it's nearly bedtime. Oops. So it doesn't really have the sort of Warcraft style fog of war. You can see anything that like comes into the screen. Oh, that's a massive collection of rockets. I think there's going to be some of them bazooka wielding chappies around here somewhere. So SR Baker said in chat that he thinks I'm doing pretty well at commentating on the game. What is basically happening is I'm vaguely aware that there are probably some people on the stream chat. If I look, I see 4 people. Hello, 4 people. And I kind of feel guilty about like just sat here playing a computer game at you and not engaging in conversation. So really, this is a nervous twitch rather than a planned conversation. However, as you're all here to watch me playing a computer game, I assume you're actually all right with it. Right, so there's someone still alive around here, otherwise the game would be over. I haven't been up there. This is the internet content you're here for. No cats as of yet, I'm afraid. We can probably do something about that. No, there's no one up there. Okay, what have I not done then? Come on, Tadger. What are you supposed to be doing? There's weirdly nautical sound effects. And I will give the game... There we go. I'll give them that there's water. But there doesn't need to be sails creaking, I don't think. Right, someone just fired a gun and it weren't me. So there's still someone else around here. Is there a more systematic way of doing this? Computer, magnify and enhance search grid epsilon. Where are you all coming from? Whoa. Okay, I've got one dude. Ah, you're coming from there. Oh dear. Oh no. That's what happens if you get complacent. I wonder if Mary Whitehouse ever played this game. Oops. I'm going to blame for that accidental discharge. I'm going to blame my Amazon Basics USB mouse, which is the only mouse I've got that actually works with the Vampire V4. I'm going to claim that it wasn't user error, that the button accidentally pressed itself. Oh. I think I need these things. You got to be very good with these bazooka fellas. As soon as you see them, you got to fire, and then you got to move in some other direction so that when they fire back, they miss. And what I am not doing is that thing that I just said to all of you. What I am doing is firing and then being shot. And then the people die. There's a lesson in that for all of us. Don't put me in charge. Oh, which one of us is going to appear to fire first? It's me. Sucks to be you, Mr. Swimming Man. Maybe I need a grenade for that. Oh, that did not work. That's quite frustrating. Oh no, there's a bazooka man. Right, once again, awkward moment where I don't know what is left to do. Presumably, more people pop up out of that hole. Nope. Yeah, that like creaking wood effect. I don't think there's any wood to creak in this game. Okay, so we got there. One more phase, I think. Yes, one more phase, and then we'll call that a stream. I don't know whether like you know, whether there's particular Amiga games you'd want to see if I ever streamed again. Oh, hello. Or more Cannon Fodder, Cannon Fodder 2, Cannon Soccer. You know, let me know in the chat if there's anything you'd like to see. I can also dig out a ZX81. Oops. Spectrum. A few other Amigas. An Atari ST. Sinclair QL. Commodore 64. Oh. Ah. Right, I think we're going to get that guy when we come back round that way. Or... Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks, mate. Oh, no. That was a bit obvious, wasn't it? If you're in the skidoo when you get it, when a bazooka guy's there, the skidoo blows up. I do not remember from playing this before being able to take over a skidoo like that. Oh no, I'm losing people left, right and centre. Oh, two. That's just rude. Oh, hello. No! Got him. That's a lot of creaky. Oh, I keep blowing them up. Rubbish. Oh. As soon as you see them point the thing at you, you've really got to run away. Okay, now we know that he is no longer there. Oh! Right then, Psycho Killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? The guy's name is Killer. That's a pun or a play on words. Right, let's shoot the guy that shot them before he gets another chance. Oh, didn't get him. Yeah, you're not. There we go. Right, now I think I have no enemies. I should be able to... I imagine that the point is... Skidoo jump! Oh yeah! That went really well. And on that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, that is where we call it a stream. Everyone, thank you very much for watching. That's like literally the first time I've ever played games on the internet for other people to watch. I hope that was enjoyable. I will try and do it again sometime. Thank you.